Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. We'll start off today with our 2-inch brush in a nice light blue and white color here. And let's come over to this side today and drop in a beautiful background. Now maybe, I don't know if this is actually skies or trees back here. We're going to have a huge tree on this side that's going to cover up almost all of this background on this side. But maybe these are trees, or maybe it's a little bit of sky showing. I'm just going to brush this all the way back. You'll see this is going to be very misty back here. Now, as you can see, I have a basic sketch of a waterfall up here, and this is just a few rocks that kind of frame in the waterfall. So now I'll take my filbert brush right through some blue, white, a little bit of black, and let's work on some very, very distant trees back here. And I know this is kind of an odd color, but it'll mix with the brown we have and kind of change values a little bit. Also, I want this very, very pale blue in the background because when I cover it with my tree, it'll all just be so subtle back there. I think it'll really be effective. There we go. We're not going to leave it this way either. We're going to put some darker blacks in. There. And just change the color a few times, creating all sorts of different things. Set that brush down. And I want it to come all the way off the canvas. I'm going to grab a 1-inch and I just want to soften the top here. See that? Now we've got all sorts of things. And I want to do some layers back there as well. And then layers coming forward. Each layer is going to be slightly different in color and value. There. See how that just looks like subtle trees? Now with our filbert brush and some yellow, green, and white. Let's just place on a few beautiful highlights here on the background trees. There. Don't want too many, and I want them to be pretty soft. So you can kind of swish the brush out as you paint. I usually do that anyway. That just softens the brush stroke. As you know, it's always nice to have soft edges in the background. There. Don't overdo the highlighting, but I do want it to appear like there is some light hitting these evergreens way back here. They're so soft and subtle. Also, in the highlight color, it's very important that it's not too vibrant. That white in there helps. If you just go yellow and green, it'll look like a foreground color, and you're not going to be at all happy with it. There. Got to remember about the values and colors as you paint. It'll really enhance your painting experience. Now with some white, blue, and red on the filbert brush, let's block in our little waterfall back here. You kind of go around the rocks, or you can go right over the rocks and paint them in again. It makes no difference at all. Whatever you feel like doing. Sometimes it's just difficult to paint around them, so just paint over them. Whatever turns out to be easiest. There. And then down here I want it to be very, very misty. And you'll notice that I used a pretty dirty brush for this. I'm getting all sorts of different variations in color. I can see a subtle little line of green. And all of that will blend together. And it'll create very, very nice interest. Very, very subtle colors in there. Can actually make the painting look better. There, maybe change to a bigger brush. Same color. And let's underpaint some mist down here. We're gonna have to do this again after we paint the rocks in. Just blocking it all in very quickly right now. There, soften the edge of the sketch there. Very nice. Now with our filbert brush in a very deep purple color, I'm gonna go ahead and paint in these rocks. Now remember, all we had down was a sketch. Now I'm gonna actually pick out more precise shapes and drop them in. There. And you can change your sketch at this point pretty easily. Maybe right here we got, there, a little rock like that. We got some mist in between, that's fine. It should look pretty good. So you kind of just figure out where you want them to be and block them in. There. You can cover up any of this with, well, we're going to do like bushes and trees in the foreground over here. So you can cover up any rock that you're not completely happy with. Now let's, there, bring out a couple just like this. Pretty fun. Now with our filbert brush, a beautiful bright orange color, I'm going to go ahead and just block in a tree back here. I'm going to hold my brush like this because I just want a suggestion of a shape. I don't want to paint in the whole tree. See that? I'm just rubbing my brush. There's a different color. Came off the brush. All right. So there you go. Maybe you want it slightly darker in the middle. You can do that. There, it's a very soft bush back there, or tree. And now just take a little bit more of our yellow, put some white with it, and create leaves right out on the end. This is going to get covered by an evergreen, but it'll show, a little bit of it'll show in the background. Now we can go ahead and paint in this evergreen right over this tree. See, this is why you want to take just a couple minutes and think and plan your painting out, because it lets you do different things like this. What it's going to do is it's going to provide a little bit of interest and another layer. I'm trying to put a lot of layers into this painting. There. This is quite different because there's not much of a sky today. So just a little extra planning really helps. There. Now let's drop in a beautiful big tree up here. Maybe in our painting today, this tree is one of the features of the painting. There. Pretty nice. Nice and thick and big, and it adds a lot of interest to the painting. Make that trunk even wider, and really make it flare out at the bottom. Now with our 3/4 inch brush and a little bit of yellow, green, and blue, I'm going to drop on some beautiful little evergreen limbs. Now you may be wondering why I'm not using the fan or filbert brush. Well, I just want to try something different here. And I'm kind of starting in the middle because it's easy to sort of work up and down from the middle. Just depends on what you want to do. But what I'm doing is I'm using only the corner of the brush and I'm working it, kind of just rocking my hand around like this. See that? And I'm creating all these beautiful subtle details, like right out here on the end. Just scrub with the brush, the end of the brush, and you get those amazing textures. There, it makes it look like a close-up evergreen tree. And you can go brighter than this. This is just the first little highlight color. Now with our filbert brush, I'm going to tap on some beautiful little leaves out here. This is maybe a fall-colored tree. Oh, it's nice. I'm going to try to leave some large leaf shapes in there. All right. Most of this background is going to be covered by these leaves. There. And then we may even take the little 3/4 inch brush and do the trick where we just sort of scrub the end of the leaves to create larger suggestion and larger shapes. There. Reload often and make sure you wipe off your brush because you'll be picking up a lot of the background color when you do this. With our 3/4 inch brush, let's drop on some beautiful little rocky areas in the foreground. Now, if you'd rather, you could use the knife, and we might even change the knife later. We'll see. For now, I'm just gonna drop in some color with this brush. And you can put little grassy areas in there too. But it's mostly rocks. There, it's a nice little cliff. Maybe we're standing on the cliff kind of looking down into that valley. It's really exciting composition. It's very different and fun. I hope you're enjoying it. There, let me set that brush down and just show you how we can put in some grass. I got a filbert brush here with some green in it. You can actually touch down and pull up, because that'll give you grass, taller grass. And then you'll get your liner brush out and make even taller grass. You got to make sure that this underpainting is very, very thin. Not thin like the paint's running, but very little underpainting. Otherwise it'll mix too much and you won't see any of this green. With our 3/4 inch brush, we can go ahead and just drop in some final detail to this waterfall. We pretty much left it all alone for the whole painting. And now that we're sort of wrapping up here, I'm going to come back and just put in a couple more details, not too much. I love the idea of it being so misty, but you can have a little bit more sharp detail at the top and then allow it to go misty at the bottom. There we go. Just a bit, not too much. And have fun with it. Step back from your painting and take a look at it, then come back up close and decide if it needs a little more highlight. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website, my DVDs, and also my brush line. And thanks for watching.